Just a quick warning that this review will contain some spoilers, so if you've not seen the film, you may want to go out and watch it first.
The realtor told you all about the Dagmars, huh?
Yes, that was the family who first lived here, right?
We had heard it was a funeral parlor around the turn of the century. You don't say.
Old Dagmar had been running the bodies and burying empty coffins. Some even said he was selling to the Orientals over in Boston, turning them into chop suey. Wasn't long after that the trouble began. You're not leaving here. Don't fight it. Just accept it. You stay, you satisfy the darkness.
You guys have moved in to one weird fucking town.
Hi everyone, it's Dunster71 and today's day 3 of my 31 days of horror project. I've got a special guest, Brian Lomax, with me. And Brian has his own YouTube channel. I'll put links down below and we'll talk about a bit more of that shortly. But we've just finished watching a film called We Are Still Here. Now...
directed by some guy we can't pronounce the name of.
We've been looking on there.
Ted Geoghegan or Geoghegan. If someone knows, please
let us know how you pronounce his surname.
Give us the proper pronunciation of that name, because we haven't got a clue. But so it's a haunted house film, basically.
Haunted house film.
Yes. It kind of fits the mould of so many other haunted house films we've seen before. Very low budget, I think, by the look of it. And it looks like it was shot on some kind of digital format as opposed to 35mm. I could be wrong again. But yeah.
Now, I've seen it a few times, and I have to say, I do like this film. Brian, this is his first time he's watched it, and I'm not too sure he liked it.
I'm so keen. It's just, you can see influences in there from a ton of other films. Like we pointed out The Fog. The Fog's a really big influence.
The first thing... me and Brian, when we got to a certain scene in this film, and I'll try and find some footage and some clips to show you guys, but the first thing I said to Brian was...
You just beat me to the punch, didn't you?
Yeah.
We literally just looked at each other and he just went, fog, and I went,
just about to say that.
So definitely, basically this house anyway has this family that has been killed by the townsfolk, and they're haunting the house. They want this new family. So it's a bit sketchy. This is my problem, you see. the plot to this film is a bit sketchy. It's a bit all over the place. I think we've figured out that by the end... Well, I don't want to ruin it. Like if you don't want it ruining...
We don't want to give too many spoilers away.
It's just... We think we figured it out, but I don't want to give it away. But essentially, there's this family that have been killed, and now they're haunting this house, and they want the family that has moved in there, or so we believe. They want to kill them and make them part of, I don't know, whatever demon world they come from. But that's the problem. It's like it spends so much time and energy killing other people and doing other things rather than getting on with killing the couple that have moved in just as quick.
It is a slow build-up. I mean, I think I'm one of these, when I watch a horror film, I do like we discussed, didn't we? The quick shocks. Sometimes they work, in your face, it makes you jump. This film takes a good hour or so before anything noteworthy really happens. But I suppose it's trying to build up a bit of character development, but
It is,
there's
but
very little
but
of
if you're
that
gonna,
happening.
if you're gonna do that, you kind of need to have characters that are engaging. And I just wasn't really engaged with these characters.
Yeah.
I talked to you about blocking, didn't I?
Yeah, that's right.
For anyone who is aware of the term blocking, it's basically as a director, you work with your actors first before you figure out where you're going to put your camera, and you do what's called blocking, which is where you figure out where your actors are going to be and how they're going to move. And it feels very stilted. The blocking in this film feels very stilted. Staged, very stagey. Like, people have got their lines of dialogue and they're just going to stand there and stare at each other and say their lines of dialogue. And there is one guy, this kind of Jack Nicholson,
Larry Fassenden.
Larry Fassenden. He's kind of like a bargain bucket, Jack Nicholson. I think he's a bit more of a relaxed performer. Out of everyone that's in this film, I think he feels the most relaxed, the most at ease with the camera, and I think maybe gives the best performance. But for the most part, it kind of feels a bit stilted. Everyone feels like they're just delivering their dialogue. They're just like a delivery mechanism for the dialogue rather than actually performing. A bit unfair, actually. The old guy as well. The old guy.
Monty Markham, I think he was called.
Yeah, he was all right. He's a bargain basement. Hal Holbrook. Everyone in this film is basically a bargain bucket version of a bigger,
somebody else,
higher paid actor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like if they'd have tightened it up, maybe got some better performances out of it, maybe been a bit more relaxed with the performances and the blocking, it would have been better.
I think the problem I have with the film, and even though I do like this film, the problem I have with it, and we spoke about this midway through, is, and again, I don't want to give too much away in terms of spoilers, but if you go on IMDb and if you look into it before you do watch the film, this couple who's moved in this house have just recently lost their son. And throughout the film, all we hear is, I feel a presence. I feel his presence in the house. And it's like every other scene. There's one of them sat in the house. Barbara Crampton's character, is it Anne?
Yeah.
Every other line, it's, I feel Bobby's presence. And it gets a bit monotonous, doesn't it, at one point? You just think, right, okay, we get the impression you're grieving. We know you're grieving. But every other line is...
Well, we get to a point, don't we, where we feel like, well, you did, I didn't really feel like it was kind of on the screen, really. But you kind of said that you feel like, is it the case that their son is protecting them, and that's the reason why the spirits aren't getting to them?
That's something I could get.
I think there's a bit at the end where you kind of feel like that maybe that's the case, but it's very muddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because, again, there's scenes in it where... And again, I don't want to give too much away. I feel like we're going to give the entire film away here. But spoiler warnings, yeah. No, there's scenes in it at the beginning when little things happen which relate to Bobby, which is Anne's son, who's, like I said, who's been killed in a road accident, from what we pick up on. But then a friend of Anne's comes along, doesn't she? And she says, it's not Bobby, it's it's an evil spirit. It's not necessarily Dagmar, but it's the darkness in the house. So you get conflicting stories, if you will. Yeah. 1 minute it's Bobby's presence, then it's a darkness, and then it's Bobby, then it's a...
And then by the time you get to the end, like I said,
you make your own conclusion.
Becomes even more muddied because of something else. Because we were talking right near the end, actually, weren't we? Like, well, what forces are actually at work?
That's right.
There's possibly 3 different ones. 4 if you count the town. So it could have done with fleshing out a bit more. I think maybe a bit better writing. There's a lot of scenes in this film where characters feel like Basil exposition, where they just like come and they explain. And that was another fault with the film. The Hal Holbrook wannabe guy.
Yeah, I was about to say Brian did pick up on this, and I'll be honest with you. When I first watched We Are Still Here, I didn't really notice it, but Brian picked up on it straight away, and it's. And again, spoiler warning, I'm giving everything away here. But there is a scene when Monty Markham's character, he comes to introduce himself to the
he's a neighbour, isn't he?
He's a neighbour.
He says he's their closest neighbour.
But then he starts to basically warn them off that their house has got this presence and you're not safe and all this kind of stuff. And like Brian said, well, if the house needs a life, it needs a family, why is he trying his best to ward them off?
The spoiler there is that he's involved.
Yes,
so
yeah.
why try and scare them out of the house
when he knows the house
when
needs
you're
it,
actually trying to get them to stay there so that the house can take you?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It would have worked better if he'd have just been a bit of a shifty character who didn't want to answer their questions. So he knows something, but he's not giving it up. So yeah, there's scenes like that, the Basil exposition moments that just don't work. They feel like they're just there to give information, and that information could have been provided in a much better way, I think, much more efficient way. As I say, though, the actor does the best with such clunky dialogue. It's very easy, I think, to criticise a performance when you're working with really clunky dialogue, and I think that actor in particular does quite a good job, given the dialogue that he has to work with. That's really. I mean, the one thing I will give it is the special effects. I think this is a film in which someone like Tom Savini would be quite proud. It's like I say, it's very low budget, but they get some pretty decent gore effects in there. Some,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first hour of the film, it's a slow build-up. The last 20 minutes, it's just bang, 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 isn't it? You get all these, and again, I'm not going to say what way, but we get all these things happening.
Turns into a bit of a gore fest.
A bit of a gore fest for the last 20 minutes. I mean, again, I like, at the beginning of the film, throughout the first hour, there's some shots in it which, I don't know about you, but I always feel he's got a bit of a Stanley Kubrick vibe. He's trying to follow in those footsteps, because
it's that stillness, isn't it?
It is the isolation,
a lot of wide shots, but it's just some of them are a bit bizarre. Like I noticed at the beginning, there's this, when they're establishing the house, there's this kind of focus pulling shot along the roof, and it's just there. It's like I get the wide shot of the house, but I don't get that weird kind of. It's like literally they shot this house to death because they need these establishing shots. And they thought, oh, that's a nice looking shot. I'm just going to put it in there for the sake of one, filling time. And two, just because I like the look of it.
Because we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't really establish anything. Like I don't know if you noticed it, but it goes along the roof, kind of the foot pulling focus, and then you see this like hook at the end of it.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh. That's someone's going to get impaled on that later on, but they don't. So it's just like, there's loads of kind of shots like that that I think are there to try and give atmosphere, try and give a bit
of isolation type of this family's on their own in the middle of nowhere. And,
but I feel like they overdo it a bit. Maybe because.
Just like flash the film a bit longer, maybe. I don't know.
I think just because they liked the shots, maybe they liked the cinematography on it, and on those bits, the exterior stuff, there is some nice cinematography. Not quite as much on the interior stuff. It makes me wonder if there was a second unit or something on that. Maybe not. I don't know. I personally don't rate the film that highly. I think it does have its moments. I think it's if you watch it with someone, you can get some good laughs out of it.
I think, if I remember rightly, I do think it is Ted Grogan. I think it is his first film. So, I guess mistakes will be made, and improvements can be done.
There's room to grow there.
Exactly.
When you've got a limited budget, you can only hire certain kind of acting caliber and this, that, and the other. But I think a bit more work on the script would have been nice. Just tighten it up a bit, make it less expositionary, and I personally would give it a 2 out of 5. I didn't rate it that highly.
See, I mean, again, I must have watched this now. Well, let's count now. But every time I watch things, and especially with somebody like Brian, who's a bit more of a critique, there's things in it now I've seen which Brian's obviously highlighted me too, and I do find more flaws in it now. I'd probably still give it a 3 at a push. I don't think I could give it any higher than a 3. I do like the film, I will say that. But
it has its moments.
There is. I would say there's a few flaws. There's a lot of flaws. Really,
there's enough in there to keep you watching, I think. But for me, it's going to be a 1 watch, 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. So we're not far off, really. We're not far off. So okay. So anyway, like I said, we don't want to give too much away as to what this film gets into.
I think we've already done that.
Even though we've done a pretty good job of it, but it's if you've never watched it, guys, go out, and it's on digital downloads. It's in the shops now. You can pick it up pretty much almost anywhere. If you've seen We Are Still Here, comment down below. Let me and Brian know what you thought of it. If you haven't seen it, again, like I just said, go out and get it. As for Brian, please check his YouTube channel out. He does an excellent job on reviewing movies. And they're quite regular, aren't they? I mean, you know, how many videos a week? 1, 2 a week, mainly?
Usually 2 a week.
There's quite a lot.
More.
And they are very good. I mean, Brian is more knowledgeable when it comes to movies than I'll ever be. He really is good at doing what he does. Please subscribe to his channel, and I'll put his Twitter page down as well. I don't think you're as active on Twitter, are you?
I get pretty active on Twitter, but you know, I do some stuff. You can check me out on Twitter.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll put Twitter down. Have you got any Facebook pages? Or?
Brian Lomax Movie Talk on Facebook. Boom.
So I'll put all these down below, guys, so you can check him out. But seriously, he's very good at what he does with reviewing movies.
If you like this video, then let us know, and we'll probably do some more.
Yeah, definitely. And also, on a final note, you also do other projects, don't you? Other than reviewing films.
I do some movies.
He does movies.
If you want to see a film called The Life and Times of the Real Robin Hood, check it out on amazon.co.uk.
There it is. See?
Anyway, enough self-promotion from me.
So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. It's been a bit of fun. So until the next review, which will be day 4 tomorrow, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I have got another special guest. Well, actually, I've got 2 special guests who's going to be involved with that tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, guys. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll talk to you all real soon.